Hey, so what about Kid Austin and Shakur Stevenson though?
But y'all bring that energy over here.
Maybe that is a thing.
I feel like it's a thing.
Yeah.
I think I just saw that did Oscar call Kid Austin a contender?
Prospect.
Or a prospect?
Prospect, yeah.
But he's like past prospect.
Yeah.
He's like number 2 with the WBA.
Yeah, he's like the WBA. He got a belt.
2.
He is right there. Yeah. How you got one of those and you a prospect?
Now, I was crazy. If my promoter called me a prospect when I'm top 3 in the rankings, bro, what you doing, bro?
And then it looked like Shakur, like that looks like a real picture. Like Shakur looking at him like your promoter called you a prospect. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah. I think here it is an interesting fight.
I think it's premature.
Yeah. Yeah,
they won't.
Kid Austin?
They won't like it, but I think it's premature.
No, but you got to admire the fact that he's
willing to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if like what's going on with Ennis, if any of this shit is true about him turning down a fight with Ortiz, well, you got one guy in his late 20s, 30 plus fights, physical prime, more ready than he's ever going to be at this point, and him turning it down, and then Kid Austin jumping. Just props to Kid Austin in the era where guys find a lot of reasons not to make a fight happen, and he's trying to find every reason to make it happen.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
It does. It seems like he's looking for every reason to make it happen.
And him being a guy who's starting at 35 against a guy in Shakur who started at 26.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a, like, he's more of a physical force in nature.
Would you say he quickly moved out at 26 though? Or did
Shakur?
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
What
he wasn't there. I mean, he
3
was there.
years 3 years at 26, 2 years at.
Yeah, about 3 years because he wins the title against Joet Gonzalez.
Yeah, then he moves right on up to 30.
Goes to 30. Yeah, I think he may have defended that belt one. I gotta look back.
But I'm pointing that out to say, you know, probably the game plan for him: turn pro at 26, get you a couple belts, and then keep it moving. You know, not necessarily live at 26 or you're a 26 pounder.
Right.
You're a fighter that can make 26. So go get some belts, establish yourself, and move your way up. You know what I mean? So I think that's a little different from a NUA who's a literal little guy moving up. You more so got, you know, he was a young fighter that was able to fit into a smaller weight class, and now a mature fighter who's, I personally think he's like, you know, fitting very well into 135. We just haven't seen the best version of him yet.
Right. No, you're right. Like Oscar De La Hoya being a 130, 135, he's really a welterweight, just taking advantage of his youth and boiling down to a weight that he can grab a couple belts and then settle in at his real weight class, like Shakur, right? But still, I mean, Kid at his age, he was a featherweight. At Kid Austin's age, Shakur was still a featherweight. So you would think there's a little physical advantage there because he's going to need a physical advantage to make up for the gap in skill and experience and seasoning.
Yeah.
And so that makes it an intriguing fight. I think Todd Grisham, who calls the fights on DAZN, he asked me after the Kid Austin fight, which he called, and what do you think? And I go, you know, he's a good, talented kid, but he's not ready. He's not ready for Stevenson or these guys. And he's like, well, you hardcore boxing guys look at it one way. I look at it another way, which is Shakur is not going to knock him out. So it's not like you're risking this kid getting knocked out. So if he's chomping at the bit, let him go. Let him fight. Maybe he pulls off an upset. So there is that. I think Stevenson would beat him by decision. But early, especially early, Kid Austin would be dangerous against Shakur because he don't know better. Like, he doesn't know how to lose. Some of that inexperience could work in his favor in that I don't know any better. And ignorance is bliss.
Absolutely, 100%. I agree with that 100%.
Right.
When you young, you don't know any better and you keep trying it.
Right.
And when you got that kind of energy and you're young and you keep trying it, it might actually work one time.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
You crack them and change the fight.
Yep. It's like a puppy dog. You know, the puppy is gonna do a little bit more than the older dog is gonna do, and it might be able to get off on the older dog. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good fight. I think it's not exactly on time for him, but for both fighters, especially for Shakur, who needs a relevant fight and name that kind of gets him back into people actually buying the thought of him being able to contend and even beat Tank. He needs a fight like this, you know?
Yeah, I actually love the fight. Even though I'm here saying Kid Austin's not really ready, but I love the fight because it's two undefeated guys and they're athletic prime. Shakur is more in his overall boxing prime than Kid, but Kid is in his athletic prime.
Yeah.
You know, speed and power.
Yeah.
I think this would be what we were getting if we ever had Porter versus Floyd. This is example. Shawn be on his ass. He gonna be moving. Shawn on his ass. He gonna be moving.
All right.